Good morning. It's 6:42 a.m. Thursday, September 10th, 2015. I'm Christiana Ellis and I just got up. This is 5 more minutes. Isn't it weird how emergency and urgency have very similar meanings and sound very similar, but there's that different spelling, the ER versus UR, and then the root words or the if you take off the Y, emergent and urgent aren't the same. It's weird, isn't it? Although maybe it's not so weird. Maybe emergency comes from emergent urgency. It's something that's urgent and new. I am making myself sick. I can tell. Working too hard. I need to take some time off work because I think the hours are not that much more than usual. Like that wouldn't be enough by itself, but I think there's just some increased urgency. And so I really need to take a few days off, I think. But the problem is the same reason that I've been having to work so hard for the last couple of days on these emergent urgencies. That hasn't gone away yet. And so I need to determine that it's handled for the moment. Like, the problem is that we had to do some activities and then collect samples. And then if the samples all pass, then we're good. But, for example, the samples that, example and sample. Feel like this is a conspiracy. Example and sample. Anyway, the samples we took on Tuesday didn't all pass. And so yesterday we had to do a bunch more, and we collected some new ones. And so I'll go in today and find out if those ones passed. Although of the different kinds of samples that we took, we're taking samples to show that a piece of equipment has been cleaned. And so there's four kinds. So this is a little bit of detail about the kind of work that I do at work. Is we are collecting samples and we test for conductivity, TOC, endotoxin, and bioburden. TOC stands for total organic carbon, and because most of the products that are made with this equipment are organic molecules, the total organic carbon is a test that shows us that we have removed all of the product from the last time it was used. Conductivity measures the concentration of ions in the solution and is good for detecting soluble chemicals like acids and bases and stuff like that, which is what the cleaning solutions are made from. And so the conductivity shows us that we have removed all of it's like rinsing off all the soap. And then bioburden is the presence of microbes, bacteria, or other. And so we're trying to show that those are all removed. And then endotoxin goes along with bioburden because there are some kind of bacteria that can produce a substance called endotoxin even when they're killed. So like you could have dead bacteria that produce this endotoxin, and the endotoxin can have if it was in something that, like a medicine that was given to someone, could make them have a bad reaction. And so those are the 4 things we're testing for. And 3 of them, the conductivity, TOC, and endotoxin, can be done overnight. So we'll know if we pass those. The bioburden, though, the way they have to analyze that is that they take the sample that we got from the rinse water and they put it on like a growth plate, like a little petri dish with bacteria food on it. And so they put it on there and then they have to incubate it for a few days to see if anything grows, because if there were any bacteria in the sample, they'll start growing on the growth plate, and then you can see how many little spots of bacteria colonies there are. And in fact, we even measure the sample in terms of colony forming units, or CFU. CFU! But the point is that the bioburden takes a couple of days, and so we won't know if those pass or not for a couple of days. So the whole point of what we're doing is to try to eliminate some bioburden that, in this particular case, the normal cleaning didn't get rid of it. And so we were trying to do like an extra thorough cleaning to show that it got rid of it. And that's what we did on Tuesday. But then on Tuesday, I should be a little more careful and I'm not going into any more detail about that, just because, there can be some sensitivity about confidentiality with this stuff. But this is ordinary cleaning validation sort of activity. And so in any case, part of what will tell me whether or not I am done with this emergent urgency is whether or not those samples pass. And so today I'll find out if the conductivity, TOC, and endotoxin samples taken last night passed. But then I'll have to wait a few days to find out about the bioburden ones that were taken on Tuesday and on Wednesday. And it won't be until those pass too that we'll know whether or not we're good. So despite the fact that I feel like I'm making myself sick and I had to work half of my holiday weekend, I can't take a break yet. All right, hopefully I won't have to work this weekend too, although if we fail the bioburden again, all right, okay, talk to you tomorrow for 5 more minutes. Ugh.